welcome back to my channel. This video is a little different. I'm going to be doing a video basically about my process in becoming a flight attendant. I do know everyone's process is different, so this is just my approach and what I went throughout being a flight attendant, or being hired as a flight attendant. Also note that all of these videos are helpful. I used to watch them before applying. I used to watch them to give me tips on what to work on and all of that. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the video. So I wrote in my notes some things and some topics to hit on so I don't just talk out the side of my neck. So, the first thing I wanted to touch on is resumes. So, I graduated college with a bachelor's in broadcast journalism. Now, with that being said, my resume was set for broadcast jobs. I knew this job was different, so I needed to take a different approach. So what I did was I made different resumes for different job descriptions, different job titles. So with this job, I noticed that they mostly look for more customer service types of jobs, which was down my alley because I had been working in customer service the whole time throughout college and up until that point of me applying to be a flight attendant. So I updated my resume and just put all of my jobs on there that dealt with customer service. I put different jobs as far as the food industry, the retail, marketing, all of that on there. So the first thing I did was update my resume and make my resume fit to their standards, as in customer service and just dealing with different people throughout the day. So I would say first, just really update your resume. Make sure you have a lot of that customer service experience on there, because that's one thing I could say they are looking for, because we're dealing with all types of people every day. Next, what I did was look up every airline individually. So applying for a flight attendant is a little tricky because they do applications here and there and you have to catch it. So what I did was I went to every single airline individually. Once I got to their website, I typed in flight attendant because that's the job position I wanted. Now, with that being said, if they had any openings, I went ahead and made sure I knew when they were going to be closing those applications. If not, I went ahead and I set up a login for that specific airline. With that login, I put on my updates to be updated when they will be having their applications open and when their applications are available to be filled out. I also have a LinkedIn account, and when I typed in flight attendant positions in LinkedIn, I also cut those updates on for any flight attendant positions worldwide. It doesn't even matter. It don't matter if it's just U.S. airlines, anything. Every time there's a flight attendant position open or application open, LinkedIn will send that to my email. So that's another thing I did. I put those updates on so I can know when those applications were open so I can go ahead and apply. Next on the list, as soon as I saw applications open, I applied immediately. The first step is just applying. You just put your name, everything in, upload your resume, done. Each airline is different. When I did Spirit, I went to a hiring event, but I had my resume and everything on me, and I did the application right then and there at the hiring event. That's another thing. Be sure to be on the lookout for all hiring events. They have hiring events a lot. I know for a fact right now United is trying to hire over 4,000 flight attendants. So with that being said, they're always having a hiring event and their applications are always opening up probably every other month. So yeah, soon as applications are open, apply immediately. Apply immediately. That's the first step. Just go ahead and apply. As long as you have that resume updated as far as customer service, all your experience, upload that resume, send in that application. Then you should be set. But you have to apply as soon as they open, because some airlines will close their applications within a couple hours and you will miss the window. So as soon as you see that application open, apply. After applying, some airlines have assessments. So like I said, with Spirit, I did not have any of that because I went to the hiring event and I was hired on the spot. United, I had an assessment. So the only thing I could say with the assessments, because I have applied to almost every single airline. I've applied to almost every single airline except for Frontier and JetBlue. I do not know how their process is, but every airline besides Spirit that I have applied to, I had to do an assessment. Some tips I can say about the assessments is take your time and read everything. It's not a rush. It's not timed or anything. Take your time and read everything. That was my second time applying to United. I got the next interview the first time, but something happened with my computer system, their computer system, or my application went missing and stuff like that. So the second time I reapplied, everything was totally different. So this assessment, I took my time and I read everything and made sure that I was following instructions. I feel like most of the assessments is just to see if you can follow instructions and if you can read and actually, do as they're asking. That assessment went well. Of course, I made it to the next step. If I was to reapply to Delta, I would probably take my time on that assessment because I did not get to the next step after the assessment. But like I said, take your time on any assessment that any of these airlines give you. It's nothing you can get wrong. Just take your time and read everything. So after the assessment, I went ahead and went through the whole interview process. So with American, I'm not too sure if we had an assessment for American, but I can't remember if I had an assessment for American, but I know the next step was the virtual interview. That virtual interview was honestly everyone on one call, and I was not prepared for that, but now I know going ahead of time, every single interview that you do, always look presentable. Always look presentable, always look like you are already working for them. Have your best shirt on, your best blouse, your best dress, whatever it is. Have a nice face on, your hair done, and always smile. Continue to smile. Sit upright like I'm sitting now, sitting upright. Smile. Feel as if you're engaging, and feel as if the conversation feels like you already know the person and you're just having a conversation with them, you're good to go. Let the nerves go, breathe, and just always look presentable, because I know with American, I was not prepared. I was rushing because I was having to go to work in a couple hours. I was rushing. I did not look presentable, but I've heard through the grapevine, don't say Jay said it, but I heard through the grapevine that virtual interview with them is based off of looks. So that's why I always say look presentable, because after I did not get it with American, I always made sure I looked up to par with any other interview I ever had. So with United, I made sure I always looked up to par. I always made sure I stood up tall, I sat up straight, and I engaged into the conversation, and then I continued to smile. Always have a smile on your face, like smile. That's it. So throughout United's process, we had the interview where you record yourself and you send those videos in. Some tips I can say that helped me with my interviews was I looked up that particular airline, whatever airline I had an interview with, I looked up their core values, I looked up their principles, anything dealing with that airline, I looked it up to see how they were, as far as their values. I also would go ahead and, like I'm doing now, a YouTube video, I would look up some YouTube videos on just some different types of interview questions that an airline may ask. It helped me a lot with me going in and looking those things up, because I came across a method that's called the STAR method. You have, when you answer your questions, you're trying to answer them as in a way that they can understand and you can get straight to the point. The STAR method I learned by understanding that you say the situation, you explain the task at hand, you explain how you dealt with the situation, and then you explain to them the resolution because of your actions. So STAR means situation, task at hand, your actions towards that situation, and then your resolution. I use that every time they ask me a question based off of, hey, what was your experience with this? Have you ever had an experience with this? Have you ever had an experience with that? I use that in my experience. I put that into the STAR method. I told them the situation. I told them my task at hand. I told them the actions I took towards it, and then the resolution because of the actions that I took. That STAR method helped me a lot. Like, I can't even, every single question, because honestly with United, all of my questions were situational based and based off of experience. So I use that method a lot. And that's what helped me throughout my whole interview process. Another tip that I can say, once I got past that interview process where I record the video and send it in, I had a one-on-one with a representative from United, but it was over the Zoom or video chat. She gave me she told me that I did a great job, and she also gave me good feedback on every single situational question she asked me. Based off of my experience, I gave a different type of experience from different types of customer service jobs I had. I did not strongly give her an example from me being a substitute every time. I didn't say anything about me working in the food industry every time. I didn't even talk about when I was a supervisor every time. Each question she asked, I had a different experience from a different job. That's a good tip as well. Switch it up. Show that you have diversity. Show that you have different customer service skills in different areas and different things, because it shows how versatile you are and how you can deal with different situations at different points of time, depending on what it is. So that was a nice tip she gave me, and that's one thing that she liked, because she would say she knew I had experience with flight attendant. It was on my resume. But she said everyone else would always give a situation from, okay, so seems as if my camera had cut off or stopped the video. I don't know. But like I was saying, she was saying how each person she had interviewed was always given just strictly examples or situations based off of being a flight attendant, being in the airport, just being on an airplane, and it's like you're not on an airplane or at the airport 24/7. So yeah, show that diversity. Another thing I would say is just take your time. Take your time. Like I said, take your time. It's not a rush. Smile. Smile. And make sure they understand you. Other than that, that was my interview process in itself. After the one-on-one interview with her, we had a face-to-face. At the face-to-face, it was mostly group activities. I am not a group person. I'm very to myself. I like to be observant and get things done on myself. But at that face-to-face, you engage with those people. Include yourself in the group assessments, assignments, or activities that they have. Include yourself. Act like you have to show that teamwork, because at the end of the day, you guys are a team regardless of what crew member you're working with on that plane. At that point, y'all have to get that plane taken off and landed together. So show that you have that teamwork ability, and that you could work well with others, even strangers who you've never met. Because you never met these people, but you can show that you can work with anybody you come across. So yeah, the face-to-face was mostly team activities, engaging yourself, put yourself in their shoes. The way I went and the way I approached it was, I already have the job. At this point, I already have the job. I'm just here to further my skills, pretty much. I always put in my head that I already have the job. If you feel like you already got the job, then you're set to go. Everybody there is equal in my eyes. We're all equal. We're all here for a job. We're all here to get things done. I already have the job in my head. So I have that confidence. I don't show the confidence, but I have that confidence within myself. I'm going to smile. I'm going to keep pushing until I actually get that job offer. Once you get that job offer, you're set to go. You're set to go. As you guys can see, you guys can look at my previous video and my previous vlog of training. to see some of the things. If you need tips on that, if you're heading to training, you can go check out that video, and it'll give you some tips as well and show you some little snippets of the things that we did in training. But overall, if you're applying to be a flight attendant, get that resume updated. Practice your situational questions. Use that STAR method. It is a great method. And just overall smile. Be confident. Show that show chin up. Show that you're that person that is willing to work, ready to make that company an even greater airline. If you are in the process of going to training, just breathe. Take it day by day. I promise you, you're going to hear trust the process the whole entire time. And when I say they mean it, listen, it all adds up and it all makes sense day by day, week by week, until you get to the finish line. Take your time, breathe. You got it. Like it's not that hard. You're just learning. Take training as I'm just learning how to be a better flight attendant than what I am, pretty much. And other than that, if you are already a flight attendant and you're looking to come over to United or come over to another company, take these little tips and apply it to that next application process. But other than that, I wish everyone the best of luck in whatever you do in life. Honestly and truly, this can go for any job. Update that resume before that job. Sharpen your skills on that job. Look up that job's core values. All of that. Look up different questions that job entails, that job may ask, and you're set to go. So honestly and truly, just take your time. You got it. Good luck to everyone. Good luck to anyone that wants to become a flight attendant. Good luck to anyone that's already a flight attendant. And good luck to those that are headed to training or that is already in training. I wish you guys the best of luck. And I hope to see you guys in the friendly skies. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any other questions, I can do a question and answer video for you guys. Drop any questions down below and I'll do that video coming next. Other than that, I love the support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.